today for the live stream. This is my second one, so I'm so thankful. Ain't nobody here yet, so I'm just talking to myself. But I'm gonna wait for you all to come in. But I do want to say the reason that I'm here today, because I did already state it, that I found out that my mother passed. I assumed that it was maybe this morning. And so I wanted to talk to you all about that and just my reactions to it, because I've had some people before try to tell me how I might feel about that. You know how it goes when people hear that you're not speaking with your mother. They want to guilt you. Some of them do it for pure reasons because they can't imagine having a narcissistic mother or a toxic mother. The mother doesn't always have to have narcissism. It could be traits of narcissism or just be a very negative, dysfunctional type person. So because of the mother worship society that we live in, people have a hard time understanding that not all mothers are loving toward their kids. And hello to whoever just joined. So yeah, so some have different reactions. They don't understand that all mothers aren't loving toward their kids, and that some people do have serial killers for parents. Some people do have scammers, manipulators, and all type of unsavory type people for parents. So they don't get it. So I've always been, not always, but some people have told me, oh my God, when your mother died, basically you're going to break down. You're going to be so overwhelmed. You're going to regret your decision to go no contact. You know, they tell you all these things, and then they start using their own parents, their own mothers. They're like, oh my God, when my parent died, it was the worst thing of my life, and I felt so bad, and you're going to feel the same way, Samyra. And my thing is I would tell these people, like, you don't know how I'm going to feel. You don't know how other people are going to feel when they lose their parent. Just because you lost your parents and you were overwhelmed with all type of emotions does not mean that everybody is going to have those type of feelings. And then let's say if a person is no contact, like I have been no contact with my mother maybe since 2015, something like that. Hey, how are you, Larethia? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So yeah, you never know, but how you're going to feel. But anyway, so this is what happened. So I didn't wake up today until like after 2:30. I'm not gonna lie, because I made some poor eating decisions last night, which is the truth. I had gluten, and according to the doctors, I don't have a gluten. What is that? When you have the actual diagnosis that you can't eat gluten, but I know I can't have it because what happens to my body when I do eat gluten? Like for instance, my eyes swell up real bad. I can't sleep good, or I sleep too long. Hey, Dr. Dahlia, thank you all for coming in. I appreciate you all. Make sure to like this video. But yeah, so I had a gluten attack is what I call it. So I didn't even wake up till late. So, excuse me, I need water. It's my coconut water. It's good. Get you some. It's refreshing. So I woke up and I had a message from someone, and it was like, hey, my condolences. And I'm like, my condolences? And I scrolled up because I had chatted with this person maybe last week. And like I told you all, my uncle, thank you, JW, for your condolences. And my uncle, my mother's brother, had passed away last week. So I'm thinking maybe this was just a thread from our talk about my uncle. So I scroll up and I'm like, oh no, this is new. And I'm like, did my mama die? She's talking about my condolences. So I'm still thinking, did my mother die? Maybe, not sure. So I'm still checking other social media. I didn't respond to it then. So then I went to Instagram, and I had a DM from one of my sisters, and it was like, hey, thank you. I expressed my condolences to you too. Thank you, Dark Dahlia. And it was like, hey, just want to let you know that mom died. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thanks for letting me know. So I went back and hit up the other person. I was like, oh, okay, love you too. You know, that's what all I said, you know, because, and I was happy, like, even though I went to Facebook and I saw a few other people mention, like some people mentioned my mother by name, or just said that, oh, another family member passed, like, oh, I can't take this, because like I said, we just had 2 back-to-back family members pass away, my mother and her brother last week, my mother this week. I texted 2 of my close friends yesterday stating that if my mother passes, I will not be attending the funeral. And yeah. And so I'm happy that like no other people except for like just my sister and somebody else reached out to me, because it's like really they know that we're no contact, because either my mother told them or it's gotten around the grapevine. I know a lot of them watch my channel even though they don't comment, and some of them messy and go back and tell other people, because I know I know, you know, that they go back and tell other people, and so it's messy. So they know where me and my mom stand, and I can appreciate that those people who didn't even want to get involved and they didn't even want to tell me, because really I don't know what to respond to them. Because when I realized that yes, she had passed, it was just like, oh, you know, and I just continue to go about my day. And even if you are no contact, I do believe like when people say you will never know how you're going to respond. Somebody may break down and cry. Why? It could be because they have guilt of wish they could have did something different. I don't have guilt. The reason being because I did not come across this decision lightly to cut off certain members of my family. This took years of talking myself through it, years of telling myself that I was worthy to not be treated like horrible. I mean, today, the person that was my worst enemy on the planet Earth died. She did. She died. People die. And that may seem harsh to some people, and they're like, oh my God, you know, you can't say that about the dead. Hello, Josh. Thank you, Josh. You all subscribe to Josh Different's channel. He is also somebody in our community who's dealing with this and new to dealing with being no contact with family, and he makes some good videos talking about his process. So check out Josh Different if you haven't already checked out his videos, and even subscribe and like the brother's channel to let him know that he's not alone on this journey. So yeah, so my biggest enemy died today, and I just totally believe in keeping things real. Like I would say to somebody, if you think that you're going to be in total pain, you're welcome, Josh, because what happened to your parent, then maybe this no contact is not for you. Maybe you're just angry right now. Maybe you're just grieving the loss of that relationship because it's not what you would want in a mother-daughter or son, mother, son, father, daughter, father, whatever relationship. But maybe it's something you need to rethink. But because I would not want anybody to come back after their parent died and be like, Samyra, you told me that I should go no contact. No, Samyra gave you her thoughts about her own life and suggested maybe some things you may want to consider. But you have to come across this your own self. Like I said, it took me years to decide to cut her off. So once I finally did it, I had a plethora of emotions. I had guilt. Am I doing the right thing? Am I wrong? Are they really being truthful with me when they said, this is your mother, you can't do that? The people who were trying to all of a sudden be Bible scholars, trying to tell me, yo, you gotta honor your mother, your mother and father, you know, totally not understand the scriptures. I didn't understand, and apparently they didn't. You know, I had all that guilt, the anger, like how could somebody who once showed me love and was once good to me turn overnight just because another sibling was born, you know, because they'll do that narcissistic discard. I was discarded for whatever reason, you know. And so all the love that was there had turned into hate overnight. And it was a lot to take in. I had developed trichomania, where as a kid I had started pulling out my hair to the point that it started feeling good to me, soothing to pull it out. And I told my mother, I didn't tell her why. I didn't understand at the time. And she took me a doctor and they gave me a salve, and it really helped some to stop the sensation, because it only felt good if I kept pulling my hair out. And look back on it, when I started studying psychology, I was like, oh my God, I had a mental health diagnosis like at 6. I was freaking pulling my hair out because of anxiety, because it went from this loving person to screaming, yelling at me, telling me I was no good, nobody will love me, something was wrong with my skin, my hair was too dark, I had no talent, all this kind of stuff. Dark Dahlia says, I started pulling out my hair too as a result of the stress. Yes, all this stuff overcomes you, JW. It gets easier with time. Yes, and that's true, JW. It takes time, because people will ask, well, how do I heal? There's not a really nice, simple answer for that. It takes time, and Nobody is going to heal at the same time. When I first separated from my mother, it hurt like hell, because even though she was treating me worse than anybody on this earth has ever treated me, a part of me had grown used to that. And there was some times when she was cool, because the reason they fool you is because they can't just be crap to you 24/7. Sometimes they may say something and make you smile. They're usually charismatic. They're going to do something where you think, oh yeah, it's good with them, and then they remind you maybe an hour or a day later that no, it's not good. You know, so yeah, it's going to take time to deal with that. This was the person who supposed to treated you right, to die for you, to hold you up and prepare you for this world. But however, they made you into somebody that's maybe gullible and naive and not really ready to face this world because the way they did you. So now you may wonder, why are you a target now for manipulators and other narcissism? Why are people stepping on you and not caring for your boundaries? Why do you keep attracting this? Because your parent groomed you into taking this abuse so you could take their abuse, and they didn't give a care about you, and they sent you out in the world to be abused by other people. So when you run back to that parent like I did, oh, I keep dealing with these type of people, this, da, 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 da. And then they're like, oh, okay. But they really know, they're not surprised it's happening, because they groomed you to be walked over and to be disrespected by people. So yes, thank you, JW. All facts, yeah. Because if you, and speak up if you all know, you know, because I know I'm not the only one that's gone through this. So yeah, so it's like when I heard it, it was just like, oh, okay. And I was waiting for maybe some emotion, because at the end of the day, if I did cry, which I did not, but I'm not saying that I will not cry, you know, it may hit me tomorrow or something like that. But even if I do, it's nobody's business, because at the end of the day, that was my mother. So I may have a tear. Why? I'm not the type of person that's going to rejoice. And that's because of my, excuse me if you see this wet, I got makeup on my shirt and tried to clean it with a wet wipe. Now it's like refusing to dry. But you know, even if I did, at the end of the day, that was my mother, and I don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. But like I said, I'm not the type that's going to rejoice. Some people may rejoice if their narc parent died, and that's on them. But I just don't believe that that's a thing to do because of my own spiritual background. I do not rejoice, but I do believe in keeping things real. Some people will say, oh, let the dead die, rest in peace, and don't talk about anything they did bad, because now it's time to be fake and act like everything was great because they're dead, and you have to respect the dead. Excuse me, who came up with that thought? Just because people pull some thoughts out of their rear end and throw them at us and try to make us believe that we should live by these thoughts, does not mean that we have to. You have to look within yourself and check in, do a gut check and say, does that phrase or that saying, does that resonate with me? And y'all, if it don't resonate with you, brush that stuff off. Because like I said, I'm going to keep it real. Yes, there was some good things about my mother, but did the good outweigh the bad? No, it did not. But what I will say, because I'm not going to the funeral, and I'm hoping nobody reaches out to me about that. And so this is me processing with you all. So thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it, because it's still raw, still new to me. But I know that, like, if somebody hits me up in my DM or calls me through Messenger, and hopefully they won't, because I think I removed my number from Messenger, because it ain't nothing but a lovely place for troll other narc family members to come through and try to act like they concerned, but after a few minutes of talking to them, you realize they narcissists too and got other personality disorders. Please stop calling me and talking to me, because I already can diagnose you as soon as you hit me up. It may take a few minutes, but I'm gonna get you. Because you ain't gonna be able to hold yourself together too long before it started all coming out. So please don't. But anyway, because like I said, I know they listening. But for me, I don't want to go to the funeral. Why? Because I'm a person that wants to keep the same energy. We have not talked to 2015. It was not just me. She got mad at me because I shined the light and broke up that triangulation. I started going to the sources, my sisters, comparing notes. She said this, she said this. And some people may think, oh, that's messy, but forget that, because for years she had been doing that and making me think they were treating her like crap, weren't giving her money, just doing her horrible things. And turns out a lot of that was lies. And she was doing the same against me. So I broke up that triangulation. I confronted her over a text and shined light in that dark spot. And people that's about wickedness, they do not like for you to shine light. life. They will hate you. Like, who the heck do you think you are? Going around and finding out the truth. Who do you think you are? Speaking the truth. And that was not liked. And so she cut me off too. And so she wanted to like tell people that like it was me. But really, she stopped calling me too. It was mutual. The thing she did was have people trying to go, sent her flying monkeys out to call me and to text me trying to make me feel bad. It's your mama birthday. You not gonna call your mama? Or, oh, you should put this behind you. You only got one mama. You know, she sent the flying monkeys because her generation, some of them, feel that the child is the one that needs to grovel at the parents' footsteps and make everything right and come and put all it around because they're the parents. Look, I'm going to say what I'm going to say and you believe what you believe, but I believe God is getting rid of and it's a lot of narcissists coming too, but these ones that had it real bad as parents, I believe they are getting out of here. They are leaving this earth. And I believe it's time for a cleansing if people want it. Them evil spirits need somewhere to jump onto, you know? And like I said, I don't want to be involved with a lot of these other toxic family members because that spirit could have jumped on them. I don't know. It needs somewhere to go. So that's how I believe about it. But my thing is, it's like this certain generation, and I won't say what age group, but they sort of toxic like that, have done a whole bunch of horrible things to their children and will not humble themselves, and they feel that the kids got to be the one to come to them. So that's how she was. She felt that she shouldn't call me, even though she did the wickedness to me, and I forgave countless times, over and over and over up until I was in my 30s something. And then like I have to come, you know. So no, I'm not doing that because anytime I would come back, there would always be some other further punishment. And so because I finally did the biggest narcissistic injury that she's ever seen from me, I knew I would definitely be punished after. And it's like, no. And so my thing is that game, I said, thanks to God that I won that game. How did I win that game? One, I'm still here. Secondly, I stopped caring about what other people thought. There was a time, and she knew that this would work, that I would care, that she was calling me crazy, calling me names to other people, and it's to the point that you could care less what these people think of me. Let them believe that I am crazy. If you want to, I can be crazy for you. That does not hurt me anymore. And that's a way of healing too. Josh, if you're still here, anybody that's listening, thank you all in here. And thank you for getting them lights up as well. That's a way to heal, is when you don't care as much. Because I think we all care to an extent what some people think. But when we stop caring as much what other people say about us, that's a way to heal. Oh, they're calling me crazy? Okay, I'll be that. Oh, you're calling me selfish? Oh, okay, I'll be that. Oh, I'm mental and I've had mental breakdowns or whatever you want to say. Oh, okay, I'll be that. Oh, I'm not the perfect daughter and I'm not a good daughter. Oh, okay, I'll be that. And that's how you begin to win, because you're not giving a care what these people think, and they can't stand that. Dark Dahlia says, yesterday I had a mental breakthrough and said, funk them people. And that's how you get it. When you have them breakthroughs, saying, forget it. JW, most of the detractors barely have a leg to stand on or a pot to piss in. Yes, and this lets you know, do you really want to care what some of these people think? And you look at their life. Do you want to trade lives with them? Chances are you do not want to trade lives with them. If you do a little inspecting into their lives, they're estranged from certain family members. They can't stand an ex of theirs. They're in divorce court. Their life is a living hell. They're still living with y'all grandma in her basement, eating up all her food. They're couch surfing at 50 years old. They don't have their lives together. And this is why they want to attack and jump on you, knowing that your mother or your father is toxic. But a part of them is toxic too, and some of them have mental illnesses too. And so this is why they all flock together to come against you, because they ain't got nothing better else to do in their life. you know. And then you got to remember, like, even that I read the Bible and how it talks about in the last day that people are going to become lovers of themselves, and basically mother is going to turn against daughter, and daughter against mother, son against father-in-law. People, and this is nothing new. People is just fulfillment of Bible prophecy. Like, believe the Bible if you want, but you cannot deny the prophecies that are coming true and that have been coming true. People, it says that your enemies will be those in your own household. How can you deny that that is true? Look at me and my mother. Look at me and my sisters. What have I done to these people except for allow them to use me over and over again, trying to help them? These people do not care. They're just a bunch of users, you know, that want to come and take everything from you. They don't want to pay you for no services. They want to see you do well in a certain area. Then they want to come in and soak it all up for free, get all your contacts, get everything you earn that you have to work hard and pay for. They want to come and get it for free. This is who the people that I'm dealing with. And I know it's not just me. I'm sure that some of you all, let me know in the comment section, are dealing with some of these leech and toxic family members. And then they all want to come and say, but we're just family. That's water under the bridge. You got to get over that. The thing is that why do these people think that they can tell us what we need to do with our emotions? Nobody can say that. And I hope that this can be a lesson to people who like to tell people, when your mother died, you're going to be broken down. You're going to feel so bad. You're going to be overwhelmed. You don't know what I'm going to be. You don't have my heart. You don't have my feelings. You don't have my past. You don't know what I can handle, what I cannot handle. How are we telling people what they are going to feel or what they are going to do, you know? And this is why I said I don't want to talk to these people. And if some of the decent family members that do watch my channel, I mean, God bless you, you know, but I just, like, I don't want to be involved with this. I will not be going to a funeral. I will not be answering any questions that people have in her DM. I don't even know how she died. You guys, I don't even want to know. All I assume it was because that thing on her forehead. And even though I made a video about that last week saying I wasn't even sure if that was true, I don't feel bad for saying that, because she had been doing that since like 2000, or saying that something was wrong with this thing on her head and telling everybody it was this much to get a CAT scan, that much, creating all types of lies and trying to get money behind that thing. And it finally, I guess, took her out. You know, that thing she had been playing around with for all these years trying to get money, it finally took her out. And it was true this time. But I'm not going to feel bad about wondering if it was true when she'd been lying since like 20 years about this dang on thing. It was what it was. For me, common sense is to stop believing something once you start seeing the people constantly lying about it. So, yeah. And then I'm sure people may have something to say about me not wanting to be involved with the funeral. I don't. Why? Because I'm trying to keep it 100 with myself. I was not dealing with her in life. Why would I attend the funeral? To me, that's fake. To me, it's fake. Now, like I said, if one of y'all parents die and you decide to go to the funeral, to pay for the funeral, to get the flowers, that's on you. Hey, Torin, how are you? Because nobody can tell you how to feel about your parent. Nobody can tell you what to do about your parent when they're living or even if they're dead. It's just my personal belief that for me, it would be fake. Hey, Shayla, because I don't want to do it. I don't want a copy of the obituary. Divine Egypt says the funeral is like one last attempt to get supply after death. Pathetic. Yes. Why would I go and set myself up in a room with a bunch of narcissists? And then because we live on two different, she was in, where was she at? In Georgia, I believe the last. I'm in California. Do you know how much it is for a ticket at the last minute? So what I'm about to pay, what, $600 or $700 to go for one final last narc show and have to punch somebody in their mouth and then risk getting my license one day. I mean, why I gotta do that? You know what I'm saying? I don't have why I gotta be out there in the streets like that. Then y'all get a video and see me on here and wondering what's Samyra out here doing, punching people in the eye and you know, choking them in their throats. I don't want to be out here like that, y'all. So a part of protecting my peace is that I'm not going. I don't want to go. I'm not gonna do it. And then the people be looking at you funny and having questions. No, thank you. Don't send me the obituary. Thank you, Jess, here to support Shayla. You cracking up. I don't want the obituary. It's okay even if they don't put my name in it. We can act like I never existed. That's okay too. You know, another thing I think about is the scripture has says, let the dead bury the dead, honey, because I got life to live. Y'all go take care of those deaths. Y'all do that while I'm going to sit here and grind and live. And what I'm going to say is I will be thankful that I'm here because she helped make that happen. So I will honor her in that way. JW, my mother told me as a child that she did not want me at her funeral. I was 13. See, some of these people don't even want us there. But we listening to these other family members who think they know so much. They don't know what our parents told us about the funeral. Shoot, if there's somebody that told you they don't want you there, maybe they meant that. And some people will say, oh, no, they didn't mean that. You don't know what somebody meant. You know, they just can't get over that you did not have the loving mommy and daddy that they had. And they continue to want to minimize us. I keep seeing the other people making videos. Make that right. Get it right. Your family all you got. Family is all you got. Who made up that statement? How's family all you got? I live in California. My family don't live here with me. If a hurricane happened, hey, rebounding, thank you. If a hurricane happened, if there was a food famine, I'm not calling on my family who mostly live in the Midwest and I live out here in California. I'm going to call somebody around here. You know, my job is a shelter. They got a whole bunch of food. I'm going to go over there and eat with them people, my clients, my people who I resonate with. You know, the homeless who I really resonate with. I tell you, I love working with the homeless. It's something about the homeless. They some of the best people to me that a person will ever meet. I'm going to be over there with them, okay? Because they know how to survive. I'm not trying to call up somebody who live in Georgia or Indianapolis to try to help me when people close by here. So no, I don't resonate with that. Family is all I have. That's a lie. Thank you. God bless your work. Thank you. Both my parents are already dead to me while they're alive. And that's how I was thinking. And I know I'm pronouncing your name wrong, so I ain't going to say it. But yeah, that's how I was thinking because I got to the point where I had grieved that relationship so much. I think that when I got notification today that I'm just like, oh, okay. All right. Like I said, because I understood what I was doing when I cut them off. I knew what I was already doing. You know, I didn't just wake up one day and like, I'm cutting them off. No. So I had already processed a lot of these feelings. Like, and like I said, even if a person were to break down and cry about a parent they want no contact with, could it be that they had shed some tears because of the relationship that they never had? And now they're really finally coming to understand that they will never have that support that maybe some of their friends have with their mother and father? Or could it be that they had a memory of something that was once good with their family? You know, you never know. Yeah, I got the messages today, Shayla, so I'm assuming that it had to be today. I got 2 messages today. So yeah, let's see. JW says something just clicked when you go no contact with your parents. This is not going to change. Yeah, and so it's like it is what, you know, it is what it is. My mother is dead, but for real, she probably been dead in my head for a while now. You know, and I had somebody tell me maybe a month or 2 ago, like, yeah, but you never know though, Samyra. You never know how you gonna feel, Samyra. You don't know. How did I feel? And this ain't no faking, because what I gotta fake to y'all for? My channel ain't even monetized. What I gotta lie to y'all for? I ain't getting no money from y'all. You know, unless somebody sent me a cash app, which somebody did last week. Thank you so much. But I'm saying I don't have a reason. What I'm lying. This is a free video. I ain't getting nothing from this. I ain't got to come on here to lie. I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay. And I went back to scrolling on social media. I got up and washed some clothes, and after this, I'm going to get some pressed juice from the pressed juicery store. And I did my hair and did a little makeup and, you know, promoted my books. And by the way, if you don't have my books, Road to Malevolence, SamyraAlexander is now available on Amazon. I do have these. If you would like a signed copy, please send me an email, TellSamyra123@gmail. Again, TellSamyra123@gmail to get your signed copies of my books, or you can get them as an ebook or paperback on Amazon. Also, I should have worn a curtain, parts 1 and 2, SamyraAlexander, now available on Amazon. Because for me, healing is just doing the same thing. When I tell you, for me, I don't know what it is, maybe the way I was raised, something God put in me, whatever it is, but I wake up, I'm thinking about success. I go to walk the street, go to work, I'm thinking about success. I go to sleep, I'm thinking about success. First thing in the morning, I praise God for a new day, and I'm thinking how to be successful. That's what I do, and that is what's in me, and that's what helps me continue to go about my day, because that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on getting my talents out here to this world and being a blessing to other people. That's what I'm doing, and that's how I'm healing in this journey. And I wanted to come on to let you all know, because I figured like y'all should be the first ones to know, since I'm always making these videos. I was gonna wait till next week, but I was like, because I'm still trying to get over this gluten attack I had yesterday. But I said, you know what, forget that. I'm gonna put a little makeup on, and I'm gonna come out here and let my people know what's going on, so we can be in this thing together. So let me know if you got any questions or anything like that. And like I said, a big thing, again, self-care, is ignoring the calls. If they come in, I don't want to talk about it. And I'm not trying to be mean to the people who would say like my condolences and anything, because I would do the same thing, because what do you say? You know, it's a hard situation to be in. I could see for other family members like who know that we're no contact. Should I say my condolences, or is she gonna get mad? She don't want, you know what I'm saying, like that. It could be a little sticky situation, and I get that. But I'm not tripping on people, even if they don't say my condolences, you know. And I'm just happy nobody has put that on my social media, nothing like that, because it ain't like a regular type relationship. So it's like I'm cool with not having it. It's totally okay with me that other people have not reached out and they have not said anything. It's just, it is just what it is, and I ain't tripping on none of that kind of stuff. So while you have me here, if you have any questions about healing or anything, or just how to deal with these narcissistic families, let me know. Rebounding says, family will try to suck you back in. Yes, family will try to suck you back in. And the funny thing is they not even smart, some of them, who try to suck you back in. Now, if I was the toxic family member trying to suck somebody in, this is how I would do it, you know, and I may be giving them pointers, but oh well. Since I know that I'm always posting about the work that I do, I post my YouTube videos on Facebook. I know family members are on there. That's how they found out about my channel. I also post my books, anything that I'm doing on there. You would think if they wanted to be messy and really get in good with me so they could pull me back in, that they would actually like my videos, that they would love my videos, or anything that I post, that they would sometimes like it, instead of just lurking for years, never liking anything on my page, you know. Or even buying a book and sending me a picture. That the smart ones would do that kind of stuff, you know, sending you a picture like with my book, like, hey Samyra, hey cuz, love you, you know, something like that, to make me think that everything was all good. But they don't even do that. They just be on my page lurking, and then just all of a sudden jump in my messenger and call me and then say something. It's like, we don't even have no rapport. You never say anything to me, but I see you when other people doing stuff, you congratulating them, you're happy birthday them, you're doing all this stuff with them, but you never do anything with me. So now all of a sudden you want to be in my inbox saying stuff. Where's the rapport? And this is how stupid they think I am, that I'm just going to open up. And I was stupid with some of them, but I learned my lesson. Let's see, Kelly, I wish I had the kind, caring, cookie baking mom. That's not what I got. Family is all you've got. I am a child of God. I have tons of loving brothers and sisters. I don't have to put up with abuse. No, you don't have to put up with abuse. And if you got good family, I can, if people have a decent, good family, I can see why they would think that family is all you got. But unfortunately, you know, I didn't have that luxury. So I think that's a bunch of crap. JW, how do you tell new people that you have went no contact with your family due to perpetual narc abuse? It's really hard to justify that red flag. This is what you do, JW. And you can take this or leave it. But I say lie. I don't have to tell. First off, new people are new people, meaning you don't know if these people are narcs or have other personality disorders or are toxic people. You don't know who these people are. If they ask about family, I will say something briefly and move it on. If they say, oh, how's your mom doing? Oh, great, the last time I talked to her. How is your mom doing? How did you grow up? Put that thing right back on them. Okay. Now if they're like, oh, you didn't, it's Mother's Day coming. What did you get? Oh, she doesn't celebrate Mother's Day. You ain't lying because she don't celebrate it from you because you ain't getting her nothing. Christmas come up, same thing. Oh, what'd you get your mom and your family for Christmas? Oh, they don't celebrate. No. Did you see them? Did you see them? Are y'all coming to visit? No, they don't like airplanes. No, they're so, I just wish we could be so different like how you tell me about your family, but they like to do their own things and they don't like to travel and stuff, and they're so caught up in their own lives, and I respect that because they've asked me to. You don't have to tell these people nothing, because first, if you have had narc parents, you really have to screen new people coming in and out of your life, because chances are you have a history of attracting narcs because you've probably been too nice, too gullible, too naive, not setting boundaries, or setting them and not following through on boundaries, letting people abuse you and misuse you 1, 2, 3, and 100 million times. So you got to be careful with the people you attract. So do not be telling these people all your business. You ain't got to tell these people nothing. If this is somebody who you're about to be in a close friendship, romantic relationship, after you've proven these people that they do not have traits of personality narcissism, or that they're full-blown out narcs. Once you realize that these people aren't toxic, then you can start letting these people into your life about what's really going on. But up front, it is none of these people's business. You don't know who they are. You don't even know who sent them. Could it be somebody you know sent them to get information from you? Because it can look toxic. Us type of people who have went no contact when we meet new people. Because some people will say, oh my goodness, if you meet somebody and they don't have a good relationship with their parents, something wrong with them. That is not true. That's a lie. But some people believe that. So you don't mess up your chances at dating or whatever it is you're trying to do. You cannot lead with that. We have to learn to keep the abuse to ourselves. See, a lot of us got these good hearts and just feel like we got to open up. I got to tell everybody I was traumatized, I was raped, I was this and that. No, you got to shut your mouth. Shut up. Why? Not because these people are mean out here, all of them. It's because they've been groomed with this mother and father, especially mother worship, that is something wrong with anybody who's cut their family off, and that is not the truth. Because I know if you had to cut your family member off, they gave you the dang on scissors and you didn't do it immediately. It was years upon years. So don't be out here telling these people. Only if it's somebody true. And if they don't understand it after they gotten to know you for years and they still think you messed up person for cutting your people off, well, then it's on them. And maybe they ain't the best choice for you. Because if you told them maybe after 6 months or something like that, and they've been with you all that time, and they can't see that you're not the kind of flaky person that just cut people off for no dang on reason, then that's on them. Let me read some of the comments. But no, we be talking too much sometimes. Sometimes it's just time to shut up. These people don't need to know your life like that. You got to protect yourself. And I used to struggle with that about that lying part, but forget that. It's more wolves and vultures out here, in my opinion, than it is decent people. I'm no contact too. I was talking about the family of God. Oh no, I got that, Kelly, that you were talking about that. I should have been more clear. I'm just talking about in general. I can tell that you weren't talking about, that you weren't contradicting what I was saying. I wasn't thinking that. Yeah, thank you so much. You're welcome. You have to be careful. Narcs are always looking for your weaknesses, right? And that's why I tell people that you have to be careful, because some people will date you and try to figure out if they can, how they can misuse you and abuse you. And they get that when we start telling people stuff like, oh my God, you know, this person abused me and misused me. This person stole money from me. This one did stab me in the back, and this person stabbed me in the neck, literally. You know, we telling these people all these stories, and they just taking notes like, okay, you take abuse for a long time. You're a good person for me to put on my list of people to abuse for money, sex, and whatever else. So we have to be careful with that. Yes, it's just giving them the blueprint. We have to stop telling these people stuff. Especially in California, I'm already knowing. I live in the Bay, so it's not as bad as SoCal. Oh yeah, really? Yeah, it is. Yes, you can really find you a lot of narcs out here. I don't, you know, and even people who I found to be even narcs as well, to have traits, they weren't even from Southern California. They just moved out here. I don't know, something about their spirit told them, come on out here, you will thrive. But yeah, you get all kind of people. Just like one way to protect myself, like work, they don't have to know that my mother passed away today. I'm not telling them why. It's none of their business. I'm going into work tomorrow. That is the plan. Like nothing even happened. Going on about my life. I posted it on here so you all would know, but I'm not posting it on social media, Twitter, nothing like that. I'm not looking for no sympathy. I don't want people asking me questions. I don't want to be bombarded with the condolences. I don't want it, because it's not authentic for me, because I know the relationship that we had, and I'm standing in that, you know? So it's like, no, I don't want it. Only time the toxic mother and family cares about you is when you die. Even that be fake. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, we can all see each other's posts and everything going line, and they can probably know you're going through something. They won't even reach out to you, you know, but they will be good going behind your back talking some crazy stuff. Like, excuse me, it came to my attention that the video I made, what is the name of that video? Oh, when I first found out that my mother was sick, and somebody jumped in, called me through Messenger, that dang old Messenger, and started telling me I need to fix it. I need to be the bigger person. I'm the one in mental health. I should know better. Thank you, Los Angeles Fresh. Yeah, and I should know better and all this kind of stuff. And then after I made my reaction video to him, is because when it was happening so fast, and I wasn't able to process all the red flags he was saying in the video. And so, yeah, my sister sent me a message in, what is that? IG. One of my sisters sent me a message. She's the one that'll tell me stuff sometime like, oh, mother was sick or this. So, yeah, she the one reached out, that middle one. Full-blown narc. She don't reach out, and I don't reach out to her either. But anyway, yeah, it's always one-sided. So yeah, he after I made the video, because after I reached out to him, I'm like, look, are you telling all these other people, hey, Mahogany, yeah, you're late, but you can always watch it again from the front, from the beginning. But I love that you showed up, Mahogany. But yeah, so after I processed all this toxic stuff that he was saying to me, because it was going by so fast that I wasn't able to really understand what he was doing until we got off the phone. Then I reached back out to him. I'm like, you're telling me all this stuff I need to do. Did you go to these other family members and tell them that? Or did you just choose me and to tell me everything you think I need to do? And then I found out that he actually did go to some of the other ones, was basically trying to preach that same stuff. But it's like, no, these people who claim that they want to fix the family, it's like, you cannot just put a Band-Aid on this stuff. You can't just tell somebody, you know, that, oh, you need to fix it. You got to go deeper than that. Some of this stuff is going to take fasting and prayer on the spiritual side, casting out demons and all kind of stuff. And also on the natural side, mental health, coaching, life coaching, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's not just that easy of just putting this stuff, just brushing it under the rug and moving on. And some of them just want you to get over it so they can just feel good. I'm fixing my family. I did it. I'm the one that got them to talking after 6-7 years. I did it. And it's like, no, and some people apparently got offended because I made the video and I said what I said about him. And, you know, and I was told, hey, don't you know, he's the matriarch of the family now. And it's like, okay, yeah, he's the matriarch of the family, but he's my cousin. I mean, he's still a cousin at the end of the day. And it's like, I don't need people to translate for me somebody's intentions, you know. And I'm not saying that that person who reached out to me was explaining, had a mean way about him or meant anything bad, but it's just, my reaction to it. It's like, I don't need people to explain to me what's going on. I have a great analytical mind. I can understand what's in my face when I see it, even if it takes me a few to get it. When I get it, I get it. I know what that conversation was about, and it was telling me to just shush my mouth. Don't speak on my mother and pretend like nothing has happened for the sake of good vibes and good family. But it's like, no, if you really want to do the work, you got to go below the surface. Get the therapy, cast out the demons, whatever you need to do. But you can't just make stuff right when it's not right. I'm not going to pretend that I don't know the truth to make other people feel good. I'm going to speak the light. And the evil, like amongst us, likes to pretend that there's no light. They want to stay in darkness because if they can, they don't have to deal with that they're narcissists too, that they're toxic too, that they have problems within their immediate families, that they haven't gotten right with their own kids and with other people, and that they're still doing trifling stuff. So it's like, please shut up, Samyra. Please shut up, you other survivors, because you're shedding light on things we don't want to deal with, because we want to continue to pretend that we're Christians with our nice Bible, but we're actually maintaining these evil relationships because we won't call them out for what they are. And we allow the family to continue to be a bunch of narcs, con artists, a bunch of evil people. And because we're not going to do anything about it, because a part of us is still like that and we like it and we thrive in it. So you can't say something's wrong, because then I'm going to have to start looking at the Bible I have and say, oh, my life is not adding up to what this thing is. I keep trying to preach to you about being a Christian, but my life ain't lining up with it. And they don't like that. But the thing is, the calling upon my life has been one to show, to flash that light upon that darkness and say, oh, here you are, darkness. I see you, and it's time to come out. And if you don't come out, I'm going to speak on it. And there's other people to keep speaking on it too. Let me read some of the comments. They love to gaslight you as well. Like, I remember my big sister telling my grandmother how she feels the family treats us funny. My grandma sat up there and denied everything like my sis was tripping. Yeah, they want to gaslight. It's like, oh, no, that's not happening. That's not happening. That's because I believe that this is a spiritual battle. These people have the same type of wicked spirits, and they all clean together against you. They could tell when you were a little kid that you weren't like them, that something different was about you. Even me, I remember like when my uncle, like my father was out of my life when I was about 6, and I shared this the last life, and his brother called when I was maybe 15 or 16, and my mother took so much time on the phone, I didn't speak to him hardly. She was on the phone telling him that Samyra's different. She's not like the rest of us. She has her own specific way of thinking. And I went somewhere and cried later, because I'm like, what does she mean I'm not like them? I'm not like the rest of them. I got my own way of thinking. Because, you know, at that age, you want to, most of us, I think, as teenagers, you want to be like them. You don't want to be different. That wasn't the cool thing, to be different. And so I was upset, and it took me being older to think, oh my God, she's right. I'm not like them. My thought process is not like theirs. They are darkness, and I'm coming in with light. I mean, I do some foul stuff too sometimes. I ain't saying that I'm perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, at the core of a person, You know, I'm not like them. They want to pretend that they not doing wickedness, and when I call it out, something's wrong with me. And so, yeah, they gaslight to pretend that nothing going on because they love that. And that's what they do. Yeah, they call it crazy. They call it weird. They want to change you. They don't want you to be the person who calls out their evil that they're doing against you or other people. They want you to shut up about it. They want to turn you into mini narcissists as well. They see a glow about you. They see something pure within you, and they despise that because they don't have it. Just like with a lot of those narcs, I think that they like to watch other people to mirror their emotions because they don't have it. Like that empathy, they don't have it, but they can sometimes pretend because they are masters at watching other people to see how other people behave emotionally. Then they fake that so they can pretend that they fit in with the crowd of other people that are empathetic or whatever, but really they're not like us. To me, I could call them a different type of species, and they watch us, the regulars, and try to pretend that they're like us, that they're us, but really they're not. They're truly wolves in sheep clothing, and they've perfected how to go amongst people and see and act like they're okay, that they're good. And sometimes they trick people that's not in the darkness to think that they're good when they're not. But usually those people start to see that there's something that's wrong. But those family and other people who stay with this narc after years and years, it's because some of them, like I heard someone say, and maybe this was Victoria Hunter. I follow her. You all should check her out. She's really good, a good narcissist expert. I think it was her that said something to the fact of like these people, like people will be on the narcs team because they don't want to be bullied. Because if they step up and say, don't treat Samyra or Shayla or JW like that, they don't want the wrath, that smoke from the narc to turn on them and be like, well, something's wrong with you, and you're different, you're weird, and you're crazy, and you're this, and you're that, and who are you? They're scared of that smoke from the narcs. So that's why some of them flying monkeys want to stay on the narcs' good side, because they don't want to be bullied. So they're like, oh, I got to do whatever the narc says, and I got to be my flying monkey and go after Samyra and all these other people. If not, the narc is going to go off on me and cuss me out and do me wrong. So they're trying to get love. And some of your siblings, you may wonder, why are me and my sibling not right? They grew up in the house. They saw the abuse. That sibling saw the evil and how they were kicking your butt and destroying your name behind your back, that narc parent. And that sibling does not want none of that smoke. So they will sacrifice the relationship they have with you to stay on the narc's good side. And then some of them also think that if they can show their dedication and love to the narc, that they're going to get some love. Because you know the narc barely got any love, and if they do got a little of it, they giving it to the scapegoat. So especially not the scapegoat, to the what is that thing they call the hero child? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody put it in the comment. What is that called? The golden. They want, yeah. So if they got a little bit of love or whatever obsession they have, I think some of them try to live vicariously through the golden child. They give it, oh, thank you, JW. They give that love that they do have, polluted version of love or whatever you call it, to the golden child. Now, the other children who they can't even remember their name sometime, or forget they exist, them children, once you get pushed out of the toxic den or whatever you call it, they want to now run to the narc like, ooh, love me, mommy, love me, daddy, we got rid of the other one, now you can give me some love. But they don't understand that the narc does not have a lot of love to give. The narc is totally for themselves. How can they benefit in a relationship? So yeah, even if they pull the other forgetting children toward them, it's always, what can you do for me? How can I use you? How can I get you to take care of me? How can I make sure in my old age, when I'm busted and disgusted because of all the wickedness I've done and karma has now gotten a hold of me, can I count on you, the one I can't even remember your name, to come wipe my butt for me? You know, so it's always transactional with them. But the little children who have lacked love, no matter if they're 50 and 60 years old, they still want that love from their parent. And I can't say anything bad about that, because who doesn't want to be loved by their parent? I wanted to be loved by my parent and had to realize that it wasn't going to happen. And that hurt like heck to realize that. You have to sit with those feelings, that you're not going to get that. That's part of the healing, you know. The feelings are going to be there. Yes, you feel sad. Yes, you feel angry. Yes, you're depressed. And there's nothing you can probably do about it but sit with it and acknowledge, yes, I feel this way. My parent hates me. They don't love me. They never will. We may never be okay. They may die without me speaking to them. And it's like, yes, that hurts. And guess what? It's supposed to hurt, because that's not the natural path of things. So what can you do to heal? Honor those feelings. Yes, it hurts like hell. And it's going to keep on hurting that way for maybe years and years. And no therapist, you can call me and we can talk and I can take your money. But I'm going to tell you the truth. It's going to hurt. I can tell you some things you can do to start to cope with it. But at the end of the day, it's still going to hurt. You know, you're welcome, JW. It's still going to hurt. We can deal with some coping mechanisms. Yes, we can. I can help you process that. I can help you see maybe if you contributed to that, meaning by not setting up boundaries and helping you come up with some boundaries to enforce them, to look at your other relationships, to see, you know, how you may be maintaining some of those toxic relationships, because we also got to look at us. Sometimes the game was all in our face, even with our parents, because it's harder with parents, y'all. Your parent can do you wrong for years and years, and you always want to think the best of your parent because you were taught to believe they should love you and do right by you. So, but with friendships mostly, sometimes it's been all in our face how they've been doing us horrible, and we've been sticking around and kept saying, but I went to high school with this person. Does that mean that it's okay for them to abuse you? Oh, well, their mom and my mama grew up together and we're like sisters. Does that mean it's okay to abuse you? Some people probably unfollow me because I would, you know, at one point people would give me these long messages in the comments about horrible friends that they have. I think it will always hurt, but not as bad. Yeah, Angela, I'm with you. Let me see. If I may make a suggestion about setting boundaries, start putting your phone on do not disturb for an appointed period of time every day. That's a good one, JW. My mother does this as well. She's a snake. Okay. So yeah. So sometimes we allowed ourselves to stay in some of these relationships, like with friends, for too long. And I would comment and I would say to people, because they're on my page telling me, pouring their hearts out about these friends. And as soon as I say, like, yeah, man, that friend sound like they suck. They shouldn't have been doing that. Yeah, I hope you can get away. Good, you see what they're doing. All of a sudden, the person flip on me in my comments and would be like, well, no, I've known this person for this amount of time, so it's okay. Well, if it's okay, why you in my comments making me think it's not okay? I'm siding with you because what you just told me is some messed up stuff. I'm saying you deserve better because I ain't got to know you. I know you deserve better because you're a human being created in the image of God. How the heck you don't deserve better? So I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. I'm telling you what I think for real. Yeah, rebounding, I had to laugh too. Then they switch up on me. Well, now that person means, well, why you in my comments acting like it ain't? If you like abuse, if you think you deserve it, stop coming after us who trying to help you, and then you want to flip on us. This is why you being abused, because you tolerate this, and you make excuses as soon as you get into the space of somebody who can help you. Not only do I have the credentials that I could help you, I have the years and years of plus years of being abused by friends, family members, teachers, you freaking name it. I was a freaking narc. I think I had a sign, all narcs of America, come get me. And you got somebody you can finally relate to you to help you. But as soon as I try to, free of charge in my comment section, by the way, you flip on me, telling me. And I've had a few women do this to me. And it's like, look, if you don't want the process of healing, this ain't the channel. If you want to vent in the comments, please put a little disclaimer at the top. Just venting, don't want to heal. I'm okay with it. Put that before you go and put a book in my comment section, then get mad at me because I'm agreeing your friend is crap and ain't nothing. But some of them stopped doing that because I think they got upset with me because I don't care. You ain't got to be subscribed to my channel talking like that because this ain't the channel for you, because I ain't got time for that. Don't waste my time. And I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but oh, I think I was talking about boundaries. But yeah, so some of us have to admit that we're the reason that we are getting some of this abuse. Because 1, 2, 3 times in a friendship, okay, but if it keeps happening, then we got to look at ourselves. And that's how therapy can be of help. So like I said, if you would like a booking, I always put my information down in the description on how you can book through Visibook, you know, to learn more about narcissism, to ask any questions that I may not be able to ask on these lives or in the comments, because sometimes people want to know things and it's not always like a real quick response that you can give. Sometimes you may really need to process that with somebody, and that's why I can help. But like, hey, like I just have to say, if not everybody wants to be healed or to get help and support. Some people just want to vent, and that's okay, but let people know that's all you want to do, that you ain't planning on changing, and you about to let your best friend to continue to misuse you and abuse you and dog you out for 50 years. Don't come to me, because I do healing. Don't come to me. Go talk to somebody that's randomly down the street. Go talk to a friend or somebody. But if you want to do the work, this is the place. If you don't, then get on, because I ain't got time to waste. Go play with somebody else and waste their time. My time been wasted too long, and I ain't got time to waste. Let's see. Shayla says, yeah, I'm scared of counseling. I have to reschedule with you soon. I really need the help. All right, Shayla. And counseling can be scary because sometimes you can open up stuff, and that's a good point, Shayla, because sometimes a person can open up stuff that they weren't ready to deal with, you know. But one thing about me with my counseling, I don't go into asking people stuff they don't want to talk about. I just like to have people tell me how they want to use their time with me. I don't like to assume that I know what's best for somebody. So anytime somebody does come to counseling with me, you will be the one to direct what we talk about, what we don't. And I'll even tell people, hey, if I start going down a road that you don't want, please tell me, because I won't know unless somebody tells me, oh, Samyra, we're getting too deep, I don't want to go there. So I try to let people feel free to direct where they want to go, because I feel like, especially if a person is spending their money, you shouldn't be talking about anything in therapy you don't want to. Now, I will tell you, a person, that, hey, I really do think eventually we need to talk about this that you don't want to talk about. How will I know when that's a better time to talk about it? Because I do think that it may help. But so when will I know it's a good time to bring that up? But yeah, let's see, read some more of the comments. My mother had a habit of getting on the phone, assassinating character, making everyone look at you funny, but she's the one causing all the problem. Yeah, that's how it is. And like I mentioned this before, and it's so crazy that some of these family members don't stop to think, like, what normal parent actually gets on the phone and just totally destroys their child? Now, I have heard parents may get on the phone and be like, little Bobby did this at school and he said this. Oh my God. People do that, you know. But I'm talking about to the point that they calling you crazy, something wrong with you. I think I would be on the phone like, who do that? You keep calling your child crazy, something wrong, she unstable. Like, who be on the phone like that? And some of them nuts family members, they be on there too. That's why I said, like, one thing my mother did teach me is consider the source. Meaning you got to look at this person you getting this information and consider that source. Is this a person that you know makes good decisions who's coming to tell you this? Or is this person full of drama and always causing up a lot of hell? Consider the source when people come to you telling you stuff about other people, you know. And then, like, a lot of us say, yeah, we know that we shouldn't always just believe what everybody say or have feelings about people just because somebody else told us that. That sounds good, but people still do it. You know, it's people in your family that don't mess with you today based on something your family member said about you. They don't deal with you now based on crazy stuff somebody else said about you. And at the end of the day, it's like, if people that's so gullible who want to believe all those lies about you, do you really want them to be in your life? Do you really care what they think? Just like I know some of them had issues about, like I said, the family member who got in my DM, that called me telling me I need to fix things and get things right. People got mad because I had questions about his motives, and I should have had questions. I ain't seen you since 2011. You call me 2022 talking about trying to repair some stuff. We ain't talked since 2011. And then back even in 2011 was trying to tell me that I need to fix stuff. Always throwing up my profession in my face. Talking about you the therapist, you the therapist. And anybody with an ounce of knowledge with therapy would know that even just because you're a therapist does not mean that you have good insight always into your family. That's why you as a therapist are not supposed to see your family members and provide therapy, because you're too close in that relationship, you know. And that's why I can't provide therapy to my family. So that was the first thing they taught us in mental health. And so this person is constantly coming to me telling me something, and I'm like, if you knew anything about mental health like you claim you knew, you would know that you cannot expect me as a therapist to see my family in the same light that I would see some Joe Blow that is a client of mine, which is detached. That's why you go to a therapist, because you see somebody who does not know you. They don't have any reasons to send you astray. They don't know you. They don't know your family. It has to be that detachment in the relationship. And he keeps telling me, yeah, somebody said condescending, all driven by willful ignorance. So, and they just come on and talk to you like you don't have any kind of knowledge. And this is the thing about that narcissism that I'm saying. I went to school all these years, but he gonna come tell me, who ain't went to school for it, he gonna come tell me the way that I should be on my path to therapy. The nerve. Like, dude, what? How you gonna tell me about something you don't know nothing about? But see, that's how they do. And apparently some of the family members got upset because they knew, even though I didn't say his name, they knew who I was talking about. And how did they know? Because apparently he running his mouth telling people that he called me. Because why else would they know who I was talking about? So they went back and let him know, because I blocked him, because I realized what I was dealing with. And I'm like, this not about to happen again. You got me once or twice because of the 2011, but you're not going to get me again. I'm not going to be on the phone justifying myself to you, you know. And so, and that's where I made that mistake. But because these people don't want to hear what you have to say. They come with their own agenda. They here to tell you something because apparently they think you are dumb. And if you just shut up and live your life the way they tell you to, you will be fine. So you can try to explain what it is to them, why you've made your decision. You can walk all that out with them, but they don't care because they already feel a certain way about you. They are already calling just to get you to shut up and be quiet. Stop saying this about the family, even though it's true. And do what they tell you to do and go on about your life. That's all. They ain't trying to hear you out. They don't care about you. Let me see. Instead of calling me to hear my side of the story, they believed him. I don't just believe people off the bat. I want to hear the other person's side of the story. That's the thing. See, they didn't want to hear my side of the story. They didn't care. They don't really give a darn about your feelings anymore. No, they don't. Emotions. Because even he told me, you know, I heard some stuff about you too in the past. Okay, well, I didn't ask them what it was, because you know they feed off that. They want that energy. Like, oh, ask me what it is I heard about you. No, I'm not asking you. Because if it was that important, you would have told me what it is you heard about me. And then if you heard something about me that was so bad, why didn't you call? You when you heard about my mother was sick and you had a feeling that I should be there, you immediately jumped in my DM calling me about what I need to do. But when you heard something was wrong with me, and I don't know how you heard this or what it was supposed to be, because I don't be talking to people like that, no way. But you didn't once reach out to me. But all of a sudden, when I got a rebuttal for the things you say, oh, you heard something about me too. Where were you at when I was going through this thing you heard? Nothing. Mahogany, I knew my mother was evil. One time I cried about something and my mother was laughing and looked evil. Yeah, they got that evil look. They like some of those narc mothers, they like to see you cry. They get energy from that. They like to see you hurting because they're hurting inside, and they want to make sure that other people around them are like that. You know, they don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see anything going good for you. If something is happening, going good, they'll turn it around like something bad and start telling people about that. Like when I first started writing, I think I was writing poems or something like that. I had written some stuff, and my mother she had typed it up for me on colorful paper and helped me get some frames and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, she's being supportive. Next thing I know, she's like, oh yeah, somebody you sold it to said that you're talking about light-skinned women. And it was a grammar error. And my grammar is not always the best. That's why I have to have editors and stuff, and I'm not ashamed about that. But yeah, they said you was doing this, said bad stuff about light-skinned women. And I'm like, what? But it's always something. They're always in competition with you. So anything positive you do, they will lie about it. Like, she would always tell me somebody saying this, somebody saying that. When I would go to that person, they'd be like, I ain't say that. And I would believe them. She would just be making up some stuff, you know, constantly just always hating. But these narc family members, they don't address none of that. They just want you to get in line and shut up so they can continue on with that narcissistic spirit to keep going in the family. And then they wonder why the family don't talk to each other. We need to fix this. But why don't they talk? See, it's all surface level with them because they don't want to do anything to fix it. We need to fix it. What are you going to fix? They never tell you that part. Other than we need to fix why people are not talking and seeing each other. But why aren't they talking and seeing each other? What happened to cause that? No, they don't want to deal with nothing like that. Because, see, that takes too much time. They just want to do something, you know, to feed you a pork chop and hope everybody come and be nice to each other now and pretend. Have you ever seen Eminem cleaning out my closet video, exposed the heck out of his mother in that video? I probably have years ago, cleaning out my closet. Yeah, he used to expose his mama a lot. Truth is when Eminem first came out, I was like a very young adult. And I think I was listening to one of his songs or a video of my mom, and I told her, for real, I didn't even know this was going to be true. And even though I was real young, I would say, yeah, I'm going to grow up and tell people about you. I said, I'm going to write books. I think I told her that. I said, I'm going to write books about you. I'm gonna tell everybody about you. She'd be like, shut up, Samyra. We would laugh, but I was serious. And who would have known that years later YouTube would come out? And I actually prophesied that. Who would have known? And I said that I was gonna grow up and tell all about her. And I did. I haven't written the books yet, but even my supervisor at work was asking me, she's like, Samyra, because I tell them that I write books, and she's like, you ever want to write something about in the field? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I do. Somebody told me I should write a book on narcissism, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that, because I'm sure it's a lot of work, how you got to put the book together and try to figure it out and give credit to other people who came before you. I like fiction. I mean, I weave in toxic stuff in my fiction books too because of my experience with mom. Oh, that's another way I can give mom credit and respect. Because like I say, sometimes you have to switch how you look at things. Like, I'm on a total kick of when I heard about, what is that? Transmutation. Yeah. Like changing what that negative into the positive, you know. That's what I'm doing. And I'm like, I look at that and I'm like, I write books now and people are like, man, you really nailed that toxic person. Was that person a narcissist in your book? And these are fiction because that's thanks to my mother. You know, yeah, that's what comedians do. They change that stuff, man. I'm saying I'm going to get paid for that. And when I sell books, I get paid for that. And why? Because mother helped me understand toxic relationships. Them toxic friends helped me. And now I have 3 books, and there's toxic people in all of my books. I don't have my other one yet. It's coming. And so if you haven't gotten my books, SamyraAlexander, you can see that information is also in the community section and also in my comment sections where you can get my books on Amazon. And if you'd like a signed copy, email me at TellSamyra123@gmail. And again, my email is also in my description sections, and I can get you signed copies and let you know how much it is, and you can send me a PayPal, a CashApp. But yeah, so I turn that around, that negativity, I weave it into my books, I get paid for it that way. You know, even just sharing my story on here, even though it's not monetized, there's people who reach out to me for a session, and you can get your session through VisiBook, and have a session with me, an hour-long session, and talk about whatever it is you would like to talk about, not what I think is best for you. And so that's what I do. Even when I meet with my clients at work, just my knowledge of dealing with toxic families, I can help them, and I don't gaslight them, because I know what it's like to experience this. So I'm sensitive with them and helping them create boundaries and to process their thoughts and feelings, instead of telling them, oh no, be quiet, I know your mom and your dad really loves you. Oh, you just need to give it some time and go run back into their bosom. Oh no, they don't hate you, they really love you, you just don't understand it yet. Maybe you just need to change how you're looking at it, because some of them don't know. But I'm thankful that the more knowledge about narcissism that comes out, that maybe more therapists will start doing more research and learn how to have more empathy towards their clients, instead of gaslighting them. I don't know why I want to keep saying gaslighted. I don't know if that's a word. But instead of gaslighting them again. So there's always some good that can come out of this. And I challenge you, and if it's too raw for you, if you just left that abuse, you may not be at that point yet where you're like, how can I get some money out of this thing? Yeah, you know. But eventually, once you get farther along in your healing, trying to see, well, can I paint about this abuse? You know, can I write poetry about this abuse? And can I write a rap song about this abuse? I always wish I had bars, you know. Anytime I tried to have bars, it would my head would hurt. Like, I can write a book easier than I can try to come up with a rap. You know, anytime journaling helps. Thank you, JW. Anytime I try to write a rap, I don't know how they do it. I give much respect to them, because my head will hurt. I can do like songs like a Drake song. I can switch it up into my own song. He always motivate me, Drake. But it takes so much time and my head hurt. But yeah, what is your creative outlet? Whatever you can do. You know, some people may bake and feel they put their love into their baking. Like, I like to bake too. So for me, it's like, I love it. It's like a love thing when I bake. So what is it that gives you something that you can use as an outlet to get this stuff out of you, you know? Because some of us like to throw up, what I say, on other people, meaning we like to tell other people about our abuse, telling our friends, this happened, this happened, this happened. Then we wonder why our friends stop calling us. They don't want to be bombarded with all that trauma and abuse every time they're talking to you, or you're having breakdowns because of what happened. And trust me, I don't see how my friends were dealing with me, because when I first discovered narcissism, and even before that, I would be constantly like, my mother did this, my mother did this, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know how they handled that. They should have hung up on me, because that would have been the decent thing to do to protect their energy. And understanding that, yes, even though these people are your friends and they love you, it's so much that people can bear. They have lives of their own. They can't constantly hear about your trauma, and they go into a 9-to-5 that they hate. They got baby mama, baby daddy problems, you know, all kind of health problems, whatever. And then here you come vomiting on them all your trauma and history, and then wonder why you don't have no friends. That's what I mean. You can't do that. That's why journal. Even if you can't afford therapy, save up for a session with me, you know, or writing it down, coloring, painting, doing something, going for a walk. Some people like to exercise. You got to do something, because you can't continue to vomit on other people and think you're going to have healthy relationships. So what I do now, and a part of it is cathartic for me, is by coming on here to talk. Because now other people in my life, I don't have to be constantly, but my mama did this to me, but my daddy wasn't there, this friend did that to me. It gets old after a while. And that's nothing wrong with your friends. It's just meaning that you have not found the outlet. And you have to stop using your friend as if they're your freaking therapist, because your friend is not your therapist. You're putting too much pressure on friends, especially in this mother worshiping society. Your friends is not going to understand the hell that you're going through unless they went through it themselves. All they're going to do is gaslight you, and not because they're mean and something's wrong with them. It's because they don't understand narcissism. You have had I don't want to say the pleasure, but you have seen a darkness and an evil in this world that some people are so naive to that they don't even know that it exists. Some of the stuff that our parents have done to us, people would never believe us that happened to us. Some of the stuff they said to us, people would look at us as if we're crazy and we're making it up because they cannot believe it. And in a way, that's a good thing that they haven't seen the type of evil that we've seen. I wish I could take it back, but also a part of me is happy that I was able to see that evil exists. So when other people tell me about it, I'm not confused and I don't think that they're lying. I know it exists. And some people are like, well, nobody can be that evil. Nobody can be that bad. No, everybody's redeemable. Everybody can change. Everybody can do this. Everybody can, oh, shut up. Because no, everybody is not like you. Everybody does not have your experiences. Everybody does not have your heart. You can't say what everybody is going to do. Because I've seen some evil in several different people, and I wish I haven't, but I have. Let's see. Believe it or not, narcissistic mothers, friends enable her messed up behavior instead of calling her out. Agree they know she's wrong. Oh, yeah, they know she's wrong. My mother had one. And I was grown. I had come back from college, but I wouldn't at this time. Sometime I would stay at my mother's house, and she'd do something as soon as I get there, and I'd pack up and go to my friend's house. So like, okay, thanks for coming to pick me up from school, but I'm going to live somewhere else. And I'll call you when I need you to take me back to school. And that's some good thing she did do. Like, she knew I wasn't going to stay with her, you know, that whole summer break. But one thing she wouldn't ask me for gas money. She would take me to that school. It was some good part. She would take me to that school free of charge. She would come pick me up. Even though one of my bogus friends' mothers left me, I was on one side of the building, and I kept going back and forth to see where they were at because I didn't see them. And instead of like staying there, you know, to wait for me, her mother pulled off and left and went back to Gary, and they left me in Terre Haute. My mother, last minute, she did get up. It wasn't the same night because it was already too late. But because she knew I couldn't stay there, and I was stranded in Terre Haute where like the majority of the other people had left for the break. And they allowed me last minute. They were locking up the building, but the maintenance allowed me to stay in my room. And I said, I promise my mother coming tomorrow. And she came and she got out of her bed and she came and got me free of charge. And my phone is going out, so it may go off at any moment, and I'll be wrapping it up. But she did do that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of stuff that, you know, wasn't right. And I would try to tell my friends and things, and they'll be like, oh, you're making too much out of it. Oh, you don't understand her. Oh, I'm sure she didn't mean it that way. And they don't know. And the beautiful thing that some people don't know that this type of evil exists. Hey, wish I could have been naive, but unfortunately I couldn't. And so here I am doing exactly what I told mom I was going to do, grow up to make videos about her. And I got that empowerment from Eminem. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, Eminem, I'm going to do the same thing. I didn't feel bad about what he was doing to his mom because I knew what I was dealing with at the same time. And I'm like, oh, yeah, buddy. She done you wrong too many times, and you out here screaming from the rooftops, and people gonna think you crazy, but you know what you endured, and this is why you did it. Because ain't no normal person gonna get up and do that kind of stuff like he did about his mom unless she was doing some hellish stuff to him. Yeah, my husband doesn't want to hear it. People around us, they don't want to hear it. They think we're making it up. And even if we try to bombard them with videos, that just makes it look like we're off our rocker a little more. Like, no. And hey, if they're naive about it, they have that right to be naive. Sometimes that's why I'm saying we got to learn who our audience is. That's why it's good to have a therapist, you know, or have a group. Some people go to groups about narcissism, abuse, or other stuff where they can find a community of people that have gone through stuff like them, because not everybody wants to hear that. And if they don't want to hear it, doesn't mean that they're a bad person. They just don't want to hear it. It's so damn sad that so many black parents do everything in their power to make sure they purposely fail their child. Let's see. It's too evil of a concept to them. Can't reuse soiled toilet paper. Not everyone is redeemable. Yeah, not everyone is. Nope, not everyone is redeemable, you know. Some people are going to be who they were, you know. My mother, she knew apparently that she was dying or whatever. She didn't reach out to me You know, hey, it is what it was. It was other people who thought they should. I guess she sent the flying monkeys to try to reach out, but she didn't directly reach out. She died who she was, and she stood 10 toes in that. And I can't say nothing about her. She stood in that wickedness and went out. I mean, she could have repented before, who knows? But she was the person as I know her, because she didn't reach out and I didn't reach out. I was content. I don't have any guilt. I would have done things the exact same way. So for people saying, oh, you're going to regret, I don't have a bit of regret. I did everything exactly the way it is. I am proud on it. Proud of it. It is what it is. No regrets. You know? No regrets. Not at all. Let's see, I read that one. I love narcissistic abuse channels here on YouTube. You guys really help me out. Let me know I'm not alone dealing with toxic family and parents. And that's why I do what I do. So people will know that no, you are not alone. That you can also overcome this. Because sometimes I'll get people in the comment section telling me like, oh, their life is over. Their parent ruined their lives. I don't believe that. I believe you have some hurdles that your friends that came from more normal backgrounds may not have. But I believe that you can still make changes in your life, that you can do some great things in your life. You may not reach your goals as soon as your more healthier friends reach them, but even if you get there, if it takes you a while, that you can still accomplish some things. So I will never agree with people who come and say that their life is ruined and that they can't do anything about it. I just do not believe that. So and thank you for the people that are saying my condolences. Don't listen to those ignorant people telling you you're going to regret not going to your mother's funeral. And Angela says you can survive and thrive. Yeah, that's the thing. Because those same people told me that I was going to regret when my mom died, that I was going to be broken up, and I was going to do. These people just really, I guess, is it projecting their own thoughts of how they felt when their parent died, and just assume that that is how I was going to feel. And it's like, that's not what it is at all. Oh yeah. Do I watch Spiritual Whistleblower? I check her out every now and again. I don't watch the narcissist videos as much as I used to. But you know, Spiritual Whistleblower, I love her though, because she actually does make books about narcissism, and she cusses and goes off, and she tells the truth, I tell you, about exposing those narcs. And I love her for it. I really do. The reason I don't watch a lot of the videos anymore is just not where I'm at in my life at this point. When I first got into narcissism, I watched and soaked up about every video that there was. But the further along I get on this healing journey, because it's still a journey, I don't feel the need to watch as many of the videos. Like if I like Victoria Hunter, I'm subscribed to her, but that's more for spiritual reasons. But every now and again she will drop a video about narcissism, and then yeah, I'll watch it. But I don't typically go out and search videos on narcissism anymore. Excuse me. Mental illness from narc abuse led me to jail. I'm still fighting for a license to practice law. Never give up. 9 years and counting since I started JD candidacy. You can do it, right? Thank you for sharing that, JW. She doesn't like her parents either. Oh yeah, and she's given a lot of reason why she don't like her parents either. Yeah, I've seen that, you know, and so it's a reason. I think it's just more of like the signs of the times why so many of us out here making these type of videos, because this stuff is going on, you know. And even still to this day, and somebody had recommended years ago that I make a video about Mother's Day, and I did it, and I titled that thing Why I Hate Mother's Day. You know, people still watch those videos. Even this year, it's been 2 years. Shanice, that's her name. Thank you, Shanice, if you're on here today. Recommended 2 years ago that I do that video, and I did it. And when I tell you Mother Days just passed, people still hit me up Thank you for this video. Like, some people are actually looking at that stuff. I watch them all the time. Okay. Yeah, are looking at that stuff because they need somebody to talk to. Because I think they're realizing that the friends, the spouses, other family members, they're not going to get you. Understand you. And sometimes you're just opening yourself up for more trauma when you're running to these people expecting them to have your back, and then you're mad at them. Why don't you want to listen? I'm trying to tell you, why don't you get it? It's like they've been brainwashed. They're not going to get it. But you have a community out here who gets it. Put you on some Eminem, he gets it. I'm sure some other people going off about their parents. You got tons of videos on YouTube of people who get it. We don't have the liberty all the time to be in the same room and hug you and reach out to you. But if you can feel our spirits come across this is still a God-given way of connection. And you have to take it the way you can take it. We may never meet in person, but there's a huge community of us out here. Yeah, who grew up in these toxic families, and we're here for you, you know, and it's okay. Because you can see from us, and like JW said, that it took him a while, it sounds like, to get back on track after what his parent did, but he was able to do it. You know, I was constantly told that I was crazy. I think she was actually trying to make me believe it to send me to the mental hospital. Was constantly telling me because her mother had paranoid schizophrenia. I diagnosed her because people just kept saying that my grandma was crazy. But when I started mental health, I remembered the symptoms and I was like, oh, she had paranoid schizophrenia. But anyway, my mother constantly was telling me, you're going to be just like your grandma. It skips a generation. So it was my mom. There's me. I don't have mental illness, so it's going to be you. Constantly telling me that as a little girl. It's like she wanted me to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if I can overcome that, and a lot of the reason I was able to overcome it because I had a spiritual awakening. It wasn't for me just having therapy and reading like in Jan Love Van Zant and all those type of self-helps, because I devoured so many self-help